Hello and welcome to today's Daily Rift. I'm Stormo, and we are currently level 19. I think I gained a level after completing the Rift yesterday, and so we're back up another one. Can't really remember if I enabled any interesting skills or anything after doing that, but I think level 20 we get some good stuff though, so that'll be fun for us. Season 2 starts tomorrow. I'm debating whether or not to participate in it. I didn't really put a lot of time to Season 1. I got a character to 70 over the first weekend, but I lost a bit of interest after that and found that I was enjoying just playing the regular game outside of Seasons a lot more. So I'm not sure how much time I'm going to put into Season 2, not to mention the fact that if I do, it'll have to end up in me deleting one of my characters, so that I've got room to make a new seasonal character, because I actually am at full character slots now. In fact, this character here is using up the last of my character slots, so I'm not sure I'm going to participate too much in Season 2. It'd be fun, and of course you get the transmogs, so I may do it just to level a character to 70 for transmogs, but I'm not really sure that it's really worth it. I sort of enjoy non-seasonal play more than seasonal play, and I know I miss out on some items that are exclusive to the seasons, but I'll get access to those once the season ends anyway, so and this season is probably not going to be as long as the last one, so I'm not super interested in doing the seasons. And as I've said before, doing this style video where I'm just leveling character from 1 to 70 through rifts will be harder with seasons, because it means I'll have to run a second character to farm the rift keys, whereas I've already got a huge stash of them outside of seasons that I don't need to farm. So it just makes my life a little bit easier to do it this way. But yeah, so if you are participating in seasons, good luck, have fun, and I probably will see you on the other side with regards to that. So anyway, we've got a West March map here, which is great. It's full of really nice enemies like these guys who explode into snakes, or corpse worms, I believe is what they're actually called. So yeah, in unrelated news, I've been doing a lot of greater rifts on my other demon hunter, and that's been working out really well. I'm up to rift difficulty 28. I'm sort of going through all my rift keys that I've unlocked over the years, or unlocked over time, and just leveling them up to see how far I can get in terms of my overall level. I've managed to do level 28 rifts fast enough to unlock a level 32 key, but of course I haven't done the level 32 key yet, so I think I shouldn't have too many problems until we start getting to those higher levels. I reckon I'm going to be okay with level 29 and 30 at least, because I'm absolutely destroying level 28 on that character, so and who knows, maybe I'll get high enough to be on the leaderboards, the top 1000 for this era, so that could be cool. But that's a long way off yet. I've got a lot of rifts to get through before that starts to happen, so anyway. So I should keep an eye on loot we're picking up just in case I get some upgrades too, which I'll stop after we clear these guys out just here. And we'll just take a quick look to see if we've got anything. Those are a huge upgrade, so I'm going to equip those. Those aren't an upgrade. Those are an upgrade. That's not an upgrade. That is a quite big upgrade. That's probably an upgrade. Why am I wearing a ring with intelligence on it? That's very much an upgrade. Oh, it's an upgrade for my legendary belt. Oh well. At this level of the game, legendaries come and go pretty quickly, so it's not a lot you can do about that. If you get an upgrade for legendary, don't get too attached, because you will replace it. Just because the higher level items are better. It's only once you hit level 70 that you'll start thinking about upgrading legendaries with other legendaries. At the moment, the one thing I want to do is get to all yellows, because that will actually benefit me. So one thing I don't want to do is get stuck in situations where I have some kind of item that I haven't upgraded for a long while. So we're not far off level 20 now, so but yeah, as I've also said, I'm not really going to salvage much of this stuff. It's all just going to get vended because I don't need the crafting materials, and I'm not planning to do much in the way of crafting as I level. If I need to craft, I will, just to make up for the fact that I might have, you know, gear that's like fallen 20 levels below me or whatever. But in general, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. I'm not going to pick that white up. So we go down to level 2, Unstable Ascension. The names are random, as far as I'm aware. There's no sort of pattern or reason to them. It's not like names in, I think it's Path of Exile, where the names actually indicate sort of certain aspects of the random dungeon you're going into. We'll grab that Pool of Reflection, because that will give us bonus experience, which will carry over, at least assuming I don't die, which I shouldn't do, because these guys are going down pretty quickly. So. There we go, level 20. I love that level up actually does damage to enemies too. We've unlocked our second passive skill slot, which means we've unlocked a bunch of passive skills. And Elemental Arrow, yes, that's really good, because we want that. Unlocked Cull the Weak too, which I'm not sure I can take advantage of yet, because I don't have any frost-based stuff. But we have unlocked Night Stalker. So I will switch in... Oh yeah, I picked up Steady Aim, was the thing I picked up. And we're going to switch in for Night Stalker for the moment, because I don't have any way of taking advantage of Cull the Weak yet. I could switch over and experiment with Elemental Arrow. Unruined, it's not that great though. But I'll run it for a little while just to give it a chance. But we're about to get a Conduit Pylon, so that's just going to make this next part really quick. I'm not going to stop here. And a Shield Pylon just for added bonus. So I'm I don't even need to attack for a little while just while we go through with this. This will speed things along quite nicely, as it always does. The nerfed Conduit Pylon isn't as cool as the old one, unfortunately. The old one you could really devastate your way through a rift. But the problem, of course, with being able to do that was when it came to greater rifts, you of course didn't have the advantages. So I'll stick with Elemental Arrow for a little while, and then we might switch back. I just want to remember, do I want Powered Armor or Missile Ward? I usually go with Powered Armor, so we'll do that. Yeah, that's a good choice. Still need to get some better items for her too. So you see how much damage this is doing compared to what Rapid Fire was doing before. So it's a much stronger attack, but of course you don't have the instant hits that Rapid Fire gives you. Moves a lot slower and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we'll do okay with this. But of course what we want to get with this is the Frost Arrow rune, which we're a little ways off yet. On its own, Unruined Elemental Arrow is okay, but yeah, Frost Arrow's the strongest rune for it. You see this is going to take a little while just to clear this guy out, although it doesn't help that he's got Arcane Sentries, which are going to be annoying to deal with as well. And he summons skeletons. So. Just smoke screen there to get those off me. Gonna take some damage here, but that's okay. I'm not gonna bother. The sentries don't do enough damage. Looks like we've walked into a dead end anyway. The sentries don't do huge amounts of damage at this difficulty level, so it's not a big deal. So yeah. So. I've got sunlight on my monitor, so seeing the minimap can be a bit of a pain in the bum right now. That may not be a problem for you watching this video back, but just as I'm playing it, if it looks like I get lost, it's probably because I just can't quite see the minimap, because it's always a bit, I've always found it a bit muted in this game. I'd like it a bit more obvious, but obviously Blizzard has its reasons for designing it the way they have, and who am I to question those reasons? Okay. We're having a good run with elites and champions on this one too. They're coming at a fairly frequent pace. Sometimes you get rifts and you don't get any, or, well, not any. I've never had a rift where I've not got any, but you just don't get them very frequently, whereas this one, we seem to be getting them, you know, fairly often. And that speeds the rift up massively because they grant a lot more experience. Especially important in greater rifts because they grant the progressionals that you need to clear greater rifts a lot quicker. So it's always great when you bung out like a bunch of them. So yeah. Okay, we're about to go down to level 3 on this rift. So, work our way through here. We should get at least another level before we finish this rift. The leveling will start to slow down per rift. We're not going to get like 8 levels in a rift like we did the first one. But we should get a few here. There's something else I wanted to talk about, and I've sort of forgotten what it was. Oh, that's right. I was thinking of taking up StarCraft 2. And honing my skills a bit and making some videos about that. I may or may not also make some videos about Hearthstone in the next week or two, because I need to sit down and play some Hearthstone to get the next card back, which I haven't managed to do yet. I don't exclusively play Blizzard games, of course. It's just that Blizzard games tend to be nice for video recording and talking about, because they are quite widely played, of course, and they're also very easy to record and talk over the top of. I'm not sure that's a deliberate design decision on Blizzard's part, but certainly something really cool. So, that's right, I'm still using that right now. Yeah. Action shot room for Vault. There. Okay, what do we got here? Those guys are annoying because of those meteorites, which can do a lot of damage. Obviously not at this level and not for me, but they will do a lot of damage as we go through. Yeah, I'm pretty convinced I prefer this elemental arrow, even without the rune, to rapid fire. So, just does a lot of damage. You see how much damage it's doing when it hits these enemies, like 400 damage. And that's at my level, and that'll only increase as we level up. So I'm going to stick with it for the moment, but once we get the Frost Arrow rune for it, it'll be really devastating, because Frost Arrow is nuts. So, but the build will change as we level up, just as more options become available to us. We're not really having many problems with hatred at the moment, because I have brooding, which massively increases my hatred regen. It'd be nice if this elemental arrow did do something a bit more interesting than just pass through enemies though, but that's what the runes are for, I suppose. So let's see how that goes. Yep, level 21. We might even end up with another level after we complete the rift as well, which seems to be happening fairly consistently. The amount of XP I get is almost enough to level on its own. So we unlocked Nightbane for Shadow Power, and Hardened for Evasive Fire, which we're not using at the moment. I could probably start using Evasive Fire, but it's not great until I get... because I'm using Hungering Arrow, Serrated Arrow at the moment, which generates 6 hatred on its own. It's actually generating 10 hatred because of the passive. And until I get the focus rune for Evasive Fire, Hungering Arrow is my best hatred generator, so... I'd rather use Hungering Arrow to generate hatred than something else like grenades or something, because grenades are terrible. Well, they're not terrible, it's just they're not that great at the moment. Wait, am I thinking grenades? No, I'm not thinking grenades, I'm thinking... I've forgotten the skill. Grenades are a spender. And grenades can be good. There was a period of time there, I remember playing on the PS3 version, and the way they worked on the old PS3 version, the original release, was a bit different to how they worked on the PC at the time. They were quite powerful, so cluster grenades worked really nicely back then, but then they changed it so it wasn't as good. Yeah, we're nearly at the end of this now. Just got to come down here, and through here, and through here, and through here. These guys won't finish it, so we're getting close. So it's all coming to an end. That's annoying, those guys, how you kill them and then they reform into a bunch of bats. And you have to kill the bats. Always annoys me when that happens. So you get to see how terrible I am at StarCraft 2 if I get around to making that video. I was going to practice some StarCraft 2 today, actually. I might, if I find some time, do that.
Need more time.
And put some practice in just to see how bad I am at it and see if I can't just train up my skills a little bit. Because I don't want to go into it and like be completely hopeless. So, which is what I actually am at StarCraft 2. Like, I am terrible. I can't beat the easy AI option on the multiplayer training. So that's how bad I am at StarCraft 2. So I figure I should at least be able to beat that for like a basic skill level. Maybe I should just take up Heroes of the Storm instead and be terrible at that. I have played it a little bit, but I'm not good at it. Mandrake the Hellion is going to die, and then we're going to get an Infernal Maiden, and we're going to kill that too. I'm glad I had preparation. So I can't get that because that'll buff my damage a lot. Not that it matters, this Infernal Maiden is dying very, very quickly. Well, that was very fast. We did alright out of that. Didn't get much in the way of loot from the end there, but I think I'll just check what we've picked up over time. Oh, that's actually, I reckon that's a good upgrade, that bow. That's not an upgrade. That's not, that doesn't appear to be. None of those are. That's not, this bow was very good, so it's not upgrading anything. That feels like it could be, but I lose a little bit of toughness, but I think focusing more on damage than toughness right now is probably good, because we're probably not in too much danger of dying. Finally got our first pair of shoulders too, which is good, and so I think that means all I need is an amulet, which I don't yet have. Those are rare pants that are better. I'll lose a little bit, but I gain a lot. So, if I got any gems that are worth putting in, yeah, I'll just whack one of those in. I'm not going to focus too much on gems. Oh, that quiver is very good. I'm not going to focus too much on gems because they're just not worth it most of the time. But sometimes they will be. And I mean, I can always put my big high-end gems in if I need to, but we're not going to fuss too much about that. Anyway, that's this Rift. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time on the Daily Rift.